Hey y'all, this is my All My Dolls video, and I'm so excited to share my collection with y'all. Please come follow me on Instagram at Kathleen and Friends if you're interested in seeing photos of my dolls. I try to keep these photos in front of a blank background, but I post lots of cool photos, mostly taken outside, over on my Instagram page. I also have to say that this is actually not technically all of my dolls, because I drafted this video way back over the summer of 2021, and I am just now getting around to getting it all put together. So these are all of my dolls as of summer of 2021. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going in order I first acquired the dolls. So first up is my Just Like You 22. Mine is named Annalise Amelie Cason. I got her around 2004 when I was a kid, and I actually got her at the same time as my Just Like You 3. When I was a kid, I started naming my Just Like Yous, My American Girls, Truly Me dolls, because of course they were going through all the different names at the time. I started naming them in alphabetical order in the order that I got them, and so I've kept that up as I'm an adult collector. So you will see that all of my Just Like Yous, Truly Me's are named in alphabetical order. Originally, when I was a kid, I named Annalise Ashley, but when I started collecting again at the beginning of 2021, I renamed her and a few of my other dolls. She became Annalise, or Anna for short. Annalise and her sister Beth both have Pleasant Company stamps, so I really don't think I will ever be replacing their heads. They're kind of worse for wear because I took them literally everywhere as a kid. That brings us to my Just Like You 3, which is Beth Eloise Cason. Like I said, I got Beth at the same time as Anna. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with fraternal twins because I had some friends who were fraternal twins. So Beth and Annalise were my fraternal twin dolls. Like Anna, I changed Beth's name in January of 2021. When I was a kid, her name was Brittany, so it was Ashley and Brittany, and now it's Annalise and Beth. Beth's middle name, Eloise, is a nod to my grandmother, who got me into doll collecting in the first place. My grandmother also collected dolls, though she mostly collected Lee Middleton dolls. Next, we have Julie. I got Julie and Ivy's best friend bundle for Christmas in 2007. Julie's probably my doll that's the most noticeably worse off. Her lip paint is basically gone. I have done a water dunk on her hair, which has helped tremendously because it was awful. I did not take care of it as a kid. I loved Julie so much as a kid. I even had the Julie Nintendo DS game that I played all of the time. Next is Ivy, who I got at the same time as Julie, like I said. As a kid, I liked Ivy's books better than Julie's, but I really love them both. I had Ivy's New Year's dress, and I adored it, but I can't find it anymore, which is very upsetting. Next is my Just Like You 24, which is Charlotte Maeve Cason. I got Charlotte as a kid after Julie and Ivy, but I'm not sure the exact year. In my collection, she was the older sister to Anna and Beth, which is why they have the same last name. I try to keep a lot from my storylines I had when I was a kid, though not all of their names. So Charlotte was originally Courtney when I was a kid. Now you might be thinking that Charlotte doesn't look quite like a 24, and that's because I tried to restore her hair because it was in bad shape after all of the playing with her that I did as a child. And so she had lost pretty much all of her like wave pattern. So I tried to do a hot water dunk with rollers, with bigger rollers, and it didn't really do anything. So then I was like, well, I'll go down a size of rollers. Well, that did a lot. So now she has super curly hair, and honestly, I'm in love with it, with the tight curls. I'm really happy. Kind of like it more than the original, but it was definitely not on purpose. Next, we have the last of my original childhood dolls. I got Kanani the year that she was Girl of the Year. It was my 13th birthday, and all of my friends watched me open her up, and they kind of made fun of me for still being into dolls. Like, it was kind of in just like a teasing friend way for the most part, but it kind of really got to me. So because of that, I actually stopped collecting and barely did anything with my dolls until January of 2021 when I found AGIG. In January of 2021, I went to the Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama, and they had a whole display of Luciana and her collection, and it reminded me how much I loved dolls, specifically American Girl dolls. On an impulse, I went and bought this next doll on eBay, literally that night from the hotel room, which started my newfound love of collecting AG dolls. I got Molly Mccintyre off of eBay. Molly was always the doll that I wanted but never got as a kid. I loved that she had glasses and that she had brown hair just like me. I also always wore my hair in pigtail braids, which same as Molly. Molly was also my very favorite name as a kid, and I swore that I was going to name a daughter Molly one day. Not after the American Girl doll, that was just a coincidence. I bought the next doll before Molly had even arrived, and that's Nikki. I actually wanted Nikki so bad as a kid. I asked for Nikki the same year for Christmas that I asked for Julie and Ivy in 2007. My parents didn't know that you could only get Girl of the Year for the 1 year at the time, so they got me Julie and Ivy instead because they came in like the bundle. I was, of course, very happy to get Julie and Ivy, but I always dreamed about Nikki, and that was like my main doll that got away as a kid. I absolutely love her, and I'm so glad to have her. But, like, really, what was baby Caitlin doing asking for 3 American Girl dolls for Christmas? I don't think I knew how expensive they were, but that was still kind of ridiculous on my part. The next doll is Samantha, who I have renamed Jessamine. I picked the name Jessamine because it still has, like, Sam in the middle of the name. I have 2 Samanthas, and I didn't want them to have the same name, so this one is Jessamine. This is the first one that I got. From the same seller as Nikki, actually. She had them both, and I got a discount since I got them both, so that's why I got Samantha. The next 4 dolls I got in really quick succession. First is Sage, who is a complete impulse buy for me, but I still love her so much. I love how unique her eyes are. Like, she's amazing. Next is my Create Your Own Kathleen Grace Mcgarity. Kathleen is the namesake of my Instagram. She's my look-alike doll. I picked the name Kathleen because it's a variation of my name, so it fit for like a mini-me. Next, I got Lainey Holland Thompson. I had to have Lainey because my brother's name is actually Lane. When Lainey came out, my brother was blonde and he loved camping just like Lainey, so it was like she was the girl version of my brother. I changed Lainey's last name to Thompson because of my brother, but I kept her middle name as Holland. Next, we have Marielle and Margo Larkin. She was the first doll I bought directly from AG, other than Kathleen, when I came back to doll collecting. So all of the other ones I got just from eBay and stuff like that, but I got Marielle from AG. When I came back to collecting and I saw that there was a 50s historical doll, I knew immediately I had to have her. Plus, she's so stinking cute, but also I'm in love with like 50s fashion and the swing skirts and all of that stuff, so amazing. So next up is Tinny. I love Taylor Swift, so of course I had to get Tinny. My Tinny was new in box and amazing. I love her so much. She's just so cute, and I grew up listening to country music, so of course, like, that whole Nashville country scene is always, like, really nostalgic for me, and I absolutely adore her. At this point, I took a break from buying because I had been buying a lot of dolls in a row, and unfortunately for my bank account, that did not stop. But when the Street Chic collection released, I knew I had to get number 89. I saw her and immediately thought she'd be the perfect sister for Luciana, so I got 89 and Luciana together at the same time. I named my 89 Liliana and made her Luciana's older sister. Since she was her sister, I didn't follow the naming pattern of going in alphabetical order with her because I wanted it to kind of fit with Luciana. Luciana will always have a special place in my heart because she was a doll I saw at the Space and Rocket Center that made me start collecting again. She was like the instigating thing that got me back into it, so I will always love her for that. So next I got number 90 and 91 together because I really do love the colored hair dolls. I know some people don't like them, but I really like them. My 91 is named Dahlia Iris Rose, returning to the alphabetical name pattern, so we're on D now. I adore her so much, honestly. She's a doll that's even more stunning in person, in my opinion. My 90 is named Evelyn Lenora Lapis. Her hair is amazing when it's down. I wasn't sure I was going to get a 90 until I saw pictures on AGIG of her with her hair down, and I just adore it. Next is Fable Astoria Lynch. I got Fable from a fellow AGIGer named Mia My AG. Fable is a My American Girl 21. When I was a kid and I picked out Charlotte, I was going back and forth between 21 and 24. I ended up getting 24, but when I saw Mia selling the 21, I remembered how much I couldn't decide and how much I wanted a 21 as a kid, so I knew I had to get her. And she was in perfect condition, of course, because Mia takes great care of her dolls. Okay, we're almost at the end, y'all. Next were my 35th anniversary dolls, and I got all 6 of them, which honestly, oof, to my bank account. Some I bought myself, and some were gifts from my grandmother, the same grandmother who got me into doll collecting so long ago. This was actually right before we found out that she had advanced cancer, and she passed away about a month later. Those dolls are even more special to me now since they're the last things that she ever gave me. So, January 2022, Caitlin just popping in to say, I have gotten more dolls since then. I slowed down on my collecting because, of course, I first got back into dolls in January of 2021, so I kind of went crazy and bought a bunch. Bought them all with my own money from my job, or they were gifts, but I had to slow down, so I am really happy with where my collection is at. Of course, I do have, like I said, more than I had then. I'll probably do an updated video maybe someday if I can get onto it, because I have been putting this one off since literally last summer, but we'll see. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for taking the time to watch this video.